For years, you've been told write copy that sells, clear, urgent, direct. But you've also been told protect your brand voice, stay aspirational, and don't be too pushy. And here's the crazy part. Both parts think the other is dead wrong. But after working with dozens and dozens of ecom brands doing 6 all the way to multiple 8 figures and testing thousands of emails, I've discovered something that neither camp wants to admit. And it completely flips this debate on its head. In the next few minutes, I'll show you which approach actually drives more sales and why the advice you've been following might be costing you thousands of dollars. A brief intro. My name is Hussam and I've been in digital marketing for 15 years and in ecom for over a decade. I've generated well over 8 figures in extra revenue for our ecom clients. I've spent millions on paid media and I had my own stores in the past as well, one which I was able to scale from 0 all the way to 7 figures in less than 16 months with a very, very minimal budget. I'm also the founder of Power Marketing, which is a full-scale email and SMS marketing agency, and we love working with cool, ambitious ecom brands and help them scale profitably using email SMS. So, which is best? Apparently, this is a very polarizing issue in the ecom marketing space. Some people swear by direct response copy, and others think that it will make your brand seem a little bit more salesy. So here are some of the key differences here. The first one is in terms of goal. So brand copy, the goal for it is to build long-term loyalty and identity. Direct response is to drive immediate actions like clicks and sales. In terms of tone, brand copy is more emotional, storytelling, aspirational, where direct response copy is more persuasive, is more urgent, is more action focused. In terms of metrics, brand copy is harder to measure. You measure it by basically checking brand sentiment and awareness. Direct response copy is more measurable. It's easier to measure because you just check the conversion rates, the ROI, return on advertising spend, etc. In terms of examples, brand copy is mostly used for taglines, subject lines, subheaders, headers, and also top of funnel awareness messaging. In contrast, direct response is used for ads, for product descriptions, for sales emails, mid to bottom of the funnel. So which one should you use in your emails? The short answer is a blend of both. You don't have the budget of Coca-Cola to send the brand emails forever, and you also don't want to be very annoying and ask for the sale every single time. So the ideal is to continue building a long-term relationship with your audience while also asking for the sale. After all, we create emails to make money. This is the short answer. The long answer is that it depends on a few things. So the first thing, your brand and the products you are selling. For example, brand copy works better for, let's say, fashion brands, while direct response works better for brands that solve a particular pain point. Again, this is not exclusive, but this is generally the case. The second thing is the stage your brand is in. If you're just starting out, then obviously you're trying to get immediate sales, you're trying to get product to market fit, and it's good to leverage direct response to get those immediate sales. And if you're more established and have more budget and you're well known in your space, then you can use more brand copy. The third thing is the stage of the funnel. So branded copy works better at the top of the funnel at the awareness phase versus direct response, which works better for warmer traffic. It means mid to bottom of the funnel. And by the way, these rules can all be broken. So the idea here is to use a blend of both to get the best of both worlds. So the direct response, it's always good to start with a copywriting framework. So instead of having writer's block and struggling to write copy for emails, you can use what's called a copywriting framework that's already proven to work. And think of these frameworks as formulas you can just apply to your brand to write copy quickly. There are actually dozens of copywriting frameworks that you can use, but the 5 we use the most at Power Marketing, our email SMS agency, are the BAB, before after bridge, the PAS, pain agitate solution, the FAB, feature advantage benefit, the AIDA, which is a super classic copywriting framework, attention, interest, desire, and action. And there is the PASSER framework. I included a link in the description for a video I recorded before on how to write effective, high converting copy using these copywriting frameworks. So let's jump to brand copy. Whenever I'm thinking about brand copy, I think, what would Apple write? Apple, the brand. Their copy is a masterclass in simplicity, elegance, and emotional appeal. So check out this example. For example, it says light dot years ahead. And this was, I believe, it was for their MacBook Air. And the light dot, it means that it's MacBook Air, so it's a light product compared to their MacBook Pro, for example. And then years ahead, and then another dot, so which means that we are years ahead of the competition. But this is also a wordplay kind of tagline, because when you combine these together, they say light years ahead, which means we are light years ahead of the competitor. So this is very clever, very original, very unique. It uses wordplay it describes a benefit because it's light here and talks smack about their competitors in the same tagline. Another great example is Nike's Just Do It. And I believe it's the best tagline of any brand out there. Clear, elegant, and speaks perfectly to their ideal customer profile. Don't overthink it, just do it. Just go for a run. Put on your shoes and go for a run. So where can you use brand copy in your email? So the first place we typically like to use brand copy is the subject line. So we use these brand subject lines to build intrigue and get people to open our clients' emails. So the more opens you get, generally speaking, the more clicks you're going to get and the more revenue you'll be able to generate. So imagine receiving an email with a subject line, just do it. So this plays on curiosity and people will get curious when they see just do it. What do they mean by just do it? And they are more likely to open the email to find out more. The second place we like to use brand copy is in taglines, headlines, and subheadlines. This is the most common place we actually use brand copy. Clever, creative taglines at the top of the emails will immediately grab your subscribers' attention and get them curious about learning more. The third place is the CTAs, the calls to action. So these are a great place to use brand copy. I see a lot of brands, for example, use generic CTAs like buy now or purchase now or place an order or something like that, or shop now. And typically we like to avoid using those. We either use branded CTAs or maybe benefit-based CTAs. And an example here is taste the difference. This is for a food brand, for example. So these are just the most common places we use brand copy. So yeah, feel free to use it anywhere you want, as I mentioned before. So the characteristics of brand copy. The first thing is clear and concise. So with brand copy, we generally speaking like to use less words to say more. So this is very, very important. As I mentioned before, Apple is a master in doing this. So communicate the message in a straightforward and easy to understand way, no jargon, no filler words, etc. And as an example, it's think different from Apple. The second thing is the brand copy needs to complement your visuals. For example, it pairs effectively with visual elements in your emails. The copy enhances the overall brand representation. And an example for this is KFC's finger licking good. So it's really, really one of my favorite taglines here. So it also needs to be clever and creative. So please avoid using generic and cheesy type of taglines. So use clever wordplay. This has to align obviously with your tone of voice. It's not good to just try to be clever for the sake of it. An example of this is, I mentioned before, Apple light years ahead. It needs to be emotionally resonant. So this taps into your audience's emotions, desires, and aspirations. Inspires feelings like trust, excitement, nostalgia, or empowerment. And an example of this is from L'Oreal. And they say, because you're worth it. So this is a very, very empowering and emotional kind of tagline. The fifth one is aligned with your brand values. So the brand copy that you use in your emails or in your marketing messages needs to reinforce the core mission, vision, and principles and values also of your brand, and helps build trust and loyalty by showcasing authenticity. An example of this is Patagonia, where they say, we're in business to save our home planet. So in terms of frameworks, I know that when most people refer to frameworks, they actually talk about direct response frameworks, and brand copy is seen as something that you come up with on the spot. Maybe it's a little bit more creative, more clever. However, there are still some copywriting framework that you can use for brand copy. So the first one is the golden circle, which is why, how, and what. Popularized by Simon Sinek, this framework emphasizes starting with the why to inspire and connect emotionally. For example, you start with the why at the core of your messaging, the purpose or mission behind your brand or your product, for example, the how, the unique way you fulfill that mission, so how it works exactly, and then you go to the what, the tangible products or services you offer. So you start with the why, because people don't buy products for the sake of buying products. They buy products because there is a deep why they want to fulfill. As an example from Patagonia, the why is we're committed to protecting the environment, the how is by crafting sustainable outdoor gear, and the what is explore our eco-friendly jackets made from 100% recycled material. So the second copywriting framework is called the hero's journey. And this storytelling framework positions your brand as the enabler of your customers' transformation. So call to adventure, you introduce the problem or the aspiration, crossing the threshold, highlight how your brand guides customers, and then the transformation. This is very, very powerful. And this is to celebrate the customer success or ideal state. So in terms of an example, this is for an outdoor, let's say, gear brand. Call to adventure is going to be the wilderness is calling. Crossing the threshold with our brand's gear, you'll brave the elements with confidence. And then you have the transformation. From weekend hikes to weekend triumphs, every journey starts with the right tools. So the third copywriting framework for brand copy is emotional branding framework. This is happiness, fear, pride, and belonging. And the objective of this is to connect deeply with your subscribers by aligning your message with specific emotional triggers. So an example for, let's say, a luxury brand, happiness is experience the joy of craftsmanship. The fear is don't settle for ordinary when extraordinary is within reach. Another fear, for example, could be don't buy products that are full of toxins or something like that. The pride is because you deserve the best. And the belonging element is join a community that values timeless elegance. So these are three of the most effective copywriting frameworks that will help you write brand copy for your ecom brand. So if you want high converting emails for your brand, we're happy to help you increase your overall revenue using email SMS. Our clients on average generate between 35 to 50% of their total revenue from email SMS. So if you're interested, just click on the link in the description to schedule a quick 15-minute call with me. I'm happy to offer you a free in-depth audit of your email SMS program where I show you exactly what's missing, what could be improved, and how much more revenue you'll be able to generate when all of the improvements are implemented. This is 8 to 10 pages of expert recommendations specifically tailored to your brand. So in terms of results, we helped Toastery go from 12% to 40% of attributed email SMS revenue. We helped Kingsman Premium consistently stay over 40%, and they peaked at 53%. And we also helped increase the email revenue for Fluoro Store by 7x. And if you'd like to watch some of these video reviews, you can check out our website at powermymarketing.com. And if you found this video valuable, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I also included another link in the description with a free 50-page guide on the anatomy of the perfect ecom email. And this is everything I know about crafting high converting emails for your ecom brand, and it's completely free of charge. So click on the link in the description to get your free guide.